Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're talking about something that sounds impossible but is happening to millions of high earners right now, the high income poverty trap. Picture this. There's a doctor in Chicago making $380,000 a year. She drives a leased BMW. Her kids go to private school. She eats at restaurants most weeknights. Her mortgage payment is $4,200 monthly. On paper, she's wealthy. In reality, she can't scrape together $5,000 without selling something or going into debt. This isn't a hypothetical. According to a 2025 Goldman Sachs report, 41% of Americans earning between $300,000 and $500,000 live paycheck to paycheck. 40% of those earning over $500,000 say the same thing. Read that again. 4 out of 10 people making $500,000 a year feel they have zero financial cushion. They earn more in a single month than many Americans make in an entire year, yet they carry the same money stress as someone earning a fraction of their salary. The assumption most of us carry is that income solves financial problems. Hit 6 figures and the stress disappears. Pass $200,000 and you're set. Cross $500,000 and money becomes irrelevant. The data tells a completely different story. What you're witnessing is called the high income poverty trap. People earn more, spend more, save roughly the same tiny percentage of nothing, and wake up at 55 wondering where it all went. The trap doesn't care how much you make. It only cares how much you keep. Let's look at the numbers that reveal how widespread this really is. Research cited by multiple financial institutions in 2025 shows that Americans earning $100,000 annually are sometimes more likely to report living paycheck to paycheck than those earning $50,000. One major study found that 48% of those earning $100,000 or more feel they're living paycheck to paycheck. Among those earning over $200,000, 36% report the same. Bank of America's analysis, which defined paycheck to paycheck as spending more than 95% of income on necessities, found that approximately 20% of households earning over $150,000 qualify. Nearly 24% of all American households meet this definition in 2025. These aren't people who can't do math. They're often highly educated professionals in demanding careers. They understand compound interest. They know they should save more. So, why does this keep happening? The trap operates on psychology, not arithmetic. When income rises, spending rises right along with it. This is called lifestyle inflation, and it happens so gradually that most people never notice until it's too late. A $15 lunch becomes a $25 lunch. The reliable Honda becomes a leased BMW. The adequate apartment becomes a big house with guest rooms nobody uses. Each upgrade feels reasonable. I earned this. I can afford it. The math technically works on paper, but those upgrades compound while savings stay flat. And once a luxury becomes your new normal, downgrading feels like deprivation instead of returning to baseline. Here's what actually separates the people who build real wealth from those who just look wealthy. The classic study from the Millionaire next door revealed that most millionaires don't look like millionaires at all. They live in average neighborhoods, drive older cars, and rarely flash their wealth. A 2025 Empower study showed that over 62% of everyday millionaires still budget, shop for deals, and avoid extravagant lifestyles even after crossing the $1 million mark. The typical millionaire has rarely spent more than $399 on any single article of clothing. About 60% live in homes worth less than $500,000. Warren Buffett still lives in the same house he bought in 1958 for $31,500. This creates a fascinating paradox. The people who actually accumulate wealth behave nothing like the people who appear wealthy. The doctor driving the leased BMW looks richer than the plumber driving a 10-year-old truck who quietly has $2 million invested. The authors of The Millionaire Next Door gave us 2 useful categories: PAWs, prodigious accumulators of wealth, and UAWs, under accumulators of wealth. A $50,000 a year janitor can be more of a PAW than a $700,000 a year doctor. Spending habits, not income, Determine which category you fall into. They even gave us a simple formula to check your progress. Multiply your age by your pre-tax annual household income, then divide by 10. That number is roughly what your net worth should be. A 50-year-old earning $250,000 should have about $1.25 million in net worth. Most high earners fall dramatically short of this benchmark. Meanwhile, the Charles Schwab 2025 Modern Wealth Survey found that Americans believe you need $2.3 million to be considered wealthy and $839,000 just to feel financially comfortable. The median American household net worth sits at around $193,000. The gap between perception and reality is enormous. This is where psychology takes over. When you earn $400,000, but your net worth is only $300,000, you don't feel wealthy, you feel behind. The hedonic treadmill keeps moving, and you keep running just to stay in place. 63% of respondents in Schwab's survey said it feels like it takes more money to be wealthy today than it did last year. The goalposts keep shifting. High-income households also carry surprising levels of debt. In 2025, the average credit card balance for households earning over $100,000 was $12,760. The top 20% of earners actually hold 35% of total U.S. credit card debt. Total U.S. credit card debt hit $1.277 trillion in Q4 2025, the highest on record. Fixed costs are especially dangerous at higher incomes. When you earn $300,000, you suddenly qualify for much bigger mortgages, private school tuition, multiple car payments, vacation homes, and country club memberships. These aren't frivolous expenses. They become non-negotiable lifestyle commitments. Pulling a kid from private school or selling the vacation home feels like failure. The trap tightens because the lifestyle is so hard to reverse. The savings rate tells the full story. The U.S. personal savings rate in late 2025 was just 3.6%. Higher earners save slightly more in absolute dollars, but their savings rate is often just as low because spending scales perfectly with income. A $75,000 earner saving 4% puts away $3,000 a year. A $300,000 earner saving 4% puts away $12,000. The higher earner saves 4 times as much, but relative to their lifestyle, they're equally vulnerable. Contrast that with actual millionaires. Research from the Millionaire next door found they typically invest at least 15% of their income before paying for anything else. They pay themselves first. Social comparison makes everything worse. Social media shows everyone else's vacations, renovations, and purchases in real time. A 2025 Goldman Sachs report specifically called out keeping up with the Joneses as a major driver of paycheck-to-paycheck living among high earners. You're no longer comparing yourself to your neighbor, you're comparing yourself to the highlight reels of the top 1% or to people who may be even more leveraged than you are. Discretionary spending adds up fast too. Food delivery, streaming services, ride shares, premium subscriptions. The high-income version is just bigger. First-class flights, luxury hotels, frequent dining out. Each upgrade feels small, but they compound into a lifestyle that requires your entire income to maintain. Region matters enormously. In high-cost cities like San Francisco or New York, a $350,000 salary can feel tighter than $175,000 in the Midwest because housing, taxes, and baseline costs eat a much larger share. So, how do you break free? The escape route exists, but it requires uncomfortable honesty. First, ask yourself, what is all this spending actually for? Audit every recurring expense and decide whether it still delivers value worth its cost. Often the answer is no. The single most powerful move is automation. Stop saving what's left after spending and start spending what's left after saving. If you earn $400,000 and automate $120,000 a year into investments, you'll build serious wealth no matter how you spend the rest. Look at the math. If you earn $300,000 and save 30%, you invest $90,000 per year. At a conservative 7% average return over 20 years, that grows to roughly $4 million. If you save only 5%, $15,000 a year, the same math gives you about $650,000. That $3.35 million difference is the real cost of the high income poverty trap. You don't have to live like a monk. You can still enjoy nice things, but you do them consciously, understanding the opportunity cost, not automatically because that's what people at your income level do. The high income poverty trap isn't about deprivation, it's about intention. Most people in it never consciously chose their spending patterns. They just let expenses accumulate until their entire paycheck was spoken for. Income alone will never solve your financial problems. Only intentional choices about what portion of that income you keep, rather than spend, create the security that high earners assume should come automatically. The trap is real, but breaking it is possible. It starts with one honest look at where your money actually goes and one small decision to keep more of it for your future self. If this video hit home, drop a comment below. What's one expense you're rethinking after watching this? Hit like if you want more videos breaking down money psychology, and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. I'll see you in the next video. Stay intentional.